Whose kingdom? God's kingdom. So whether it says of God or of the kingdom, since the kingdom is God's kingdom, we're talking about the same thing. It is a nuance for sure. One is talking of the medium, one is talking of the originator. But since the medium comes from the originator, the message is the same. The text has changed, the message has not. Verse 29 reads, as soon as, textual variant, they left the synagogue, they entered the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. They is a textual variant. In some ancient manuscripts, it reads, sorry, bear with me, it reads, he. Now, who is he referring to? It's referring to Christ. As soon as he left the synagogue, he entered the house of Simon, Andrew, with James and John. Now, Simon's mother-in-law was in bed with a fever. He entered with his apostles. And so, whether it says he or whether it says they, has a slight nuance difference, but the message is the same, even though there is a textual variant. In verse 40 it reads, a leper came to him, begging him. Textual variant. Kneeling, he said to him, if you choose, you can make me clean. That's verse 40. That is a textual variant. Other ancient manuscripts lack the word kneeling. Now, whether it says that a leper came to him begging and said to him, if you choose, you can make me clean, or whether it said that the leper knelt in front of Jesus, gives a slight nuance to the picture. But the message is the same. The leper came to Jesus for healing. The text has a difference. The message does not. In verse 41, it said, it said, moved with textual variant, pity. Jesus stretched out his hand, and touched him and said to him, I do choose. Now please note, the arrogance and ignorance of the Muslim who, when I challenge him to a debate, will run like a chicken. So let's talk about the errors in the Quran. Come here, I'll show you one. Oh no, you don't get interrupt me and then say don't put me on camera. So let's talk, let's debate. Let's debate. No, let's debate the errors in the Quran. No, let's talk about the errors in the Quran.
I did not come
Does this Quran have errors in it?
Listen, Jesus says in the Bible.
Does this
Quran
Quran
I did not come to bring
have
peace.
errors in it?
No, not
right.
one.
Not one. When was crucifixion invented?
What?
When was crucifixion invented?
That was a made-up thing invented.
When was made-up thing?
Made-up
thing, was it?
Christians made it up.
Really? Yeah, now you're demonstrating how ignorant you are.
No, because
crucifixion,
we believe
you don't think crucifixion was a real thing? You don't think crucifixion was a real thing? So there was no such thing as crucifixion.
One second.
This demonstrates how ignorant you are.
You're pulling out my book.
This is how ignorant you are. Crucifixion is in your Quran.
You have no one in
Are you aware of that?
Listen, you have no
Are you aware of that?
You have
Crucifixion is in your Quran.
Show me.
Right, okay, let's show you. Let's show you. Let's show you crucifixion is in his Quran. Okay, so the brother doesn't know his own book. He's attacking my book.
I know your book.
But he doesn't know his own book.
I don't know all of it.
So, let me just show you. I'm a Christian. This guy is a Muslim. I was doing a presentation about the Christian faith. He just rudely interrupted. Now I'm going to bust his ass and show him that he doesn't understand his own book. So, let's just do it. I wasn't talking. I was talking about Christianity over there. You interrupted. Surah 12:41. Let's show him. He just said crucifixion isn't in his Quran. Now I'm going to show you how ignorant you are.
Where's it, Surah what?
Surah 12, Ayah 41. Are you listening?
Surah 12, Ayah 41.
Pull it up.
Surah 12, Ayah 41.
Right.
Yeah, what's the debate about?
We're going to show him a historical error in the Quran. Bring it in, bro. Bring it in, bro.
41.
Bring it in.
41.
Listen.
41.
Yes.
Alright, well, let me read it.
Oh my.
read it.
Yes. Right.
Read it,
Listen.
read it.
Surah 12:41. Oh, my two companions of the prison, as to one of you, he will pour out the wine of his Lord to drink. As for the other, he will hang from the cross. What is it called when you hang someone from the cross? Crucifixion.
But what about he say there's different translations
Pull up.
of
Let's
the
pull up.
English of the English
Let's.
text?
Well, let's.
So
what,
the Arabic
let's pull
is
them
the
up.
same.
Let's pull them
but
up.
the words of the English.
What
may
is it
not
to
be-
hang someone from a cross?
Where does it say cross? Show me cross.
There, look, hang from.
No,
Read
you know
it.
what? No,
you
no, no,
read it.
no, 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 no. Now
Read
you know
it.
what I gotta do.
Read
I gotta
it.
do get someone who knows the Arabic language so we can tell me what that means.
Says
You
it means
understand?
crucifixion.
I go by scholars. I don't go by my design.
Let me show you scholars. Let me show you scholars. Because you, bro, are busted. And this is how ignorant you are.
This is what a different.
This is how ignorant you are.
Language.
You're
You see,
ignorant
Allah
of your
sometimes
Quran.
In English translation can be Allah the most merciful or Allah the most beneficent. So it's the same meaning but just a different wording. So this guy, huh? No, don't.
Right, so he doesn't know Arabic and he's demanding that we use the Arabic. So let
Yeah,
me
I need-
show
I
him.
need to,
I'm going to show you you're still wrong, bro.
That's what I mean.
Let me show you you're still wrong. Have some humility. Have some humility.
You have a
Right.
dirty speech.
Let's
You
have
can
a
never
look.
call someone to Christianity.
Let's look.
With a tongue like yours.
I've
never
came-
seen someone convert to Christianity.
I
But
did just this
alhamdulillah,
week. Just this
what,
week.
One person.
Just this
You
week.
fool. You took
Just
him to the
this
gates
week.
of hellfire
Just
for no
this
reason.
week.
You took him to Jahannam.
This
for no
is
reason.
this is where
I ain't even got to be
Islam
all
misleads
complicated
you.
with you. I could just pull you out of natural facts. And guess what, mate?
Yeah, natural
You're
facts
an
like
Islamic
this
hater.
one.
You're an
Like
Islamic
this
hater.
one. Let's look at this one.
You're a hater.
Right?
A big hater.
So here you are.
And you know Islam is the truth.
Here you are.
Maybe you do, and you reject it, and you hate it.
So I'm going to give you now Dr. Mustafa Khattab's translation. O my fellow prisoners, the first one of you will serve wine to his master and the other will be crucified. That's Dr. Mustafa Khattab. Sahih International reads, O two companions of prison, as for one of you, he will give drink to his master of wine, but as for the other, he will be crucified. So I've now given
the
you
verse
two
again?
Muslim
What's the
scholars
verse name?
who both say crucified and one Muslim scholar who says hanged from a cross. Are you willing to concede you were wrong?
No, no, no.
So this
no.
is
I'm
the
willing to
ignorance and the
concede
arrogance.
he's an enemy of Islam, and he will never extinguish the light of
Is
Allah.
Dr. Mustafa Khattab an enemy of Islam?
No.
He
I
says
don't know, I don't know
crucified.
actually.
Dr.
know
Mustafa Khattab, he says crucified. Is Sahih International an enemy of Islam?
No.
No, but they say crucified.
You're an enemy of Islam.
So do you disagree with them?
No.
So they say crucified.
Alhamdulillah.
So were you wrong?
Then I have to go back.
You said
no, I'm
the
not wrong.
Quran didn't have crucifixion in it. I've
What
just
about-
shown you.
What about in your book?
Now,
What Jesus said.
now, one second.
No, you always
One
slander
second.
the Quran.
Now, one
You
second.
always slander Quran.
Now,
Quran. Matthew,
one second.
Matthew.
Who was
10,
speaking at this
34.
time?
1 second,
Who
mate.
was speaking
1
at
second,
this
mate.
time?
Don't be too rude.
Who was
mate.
speaking
Don't be
at this
rude.
time?
Don't be rude.
Who was
Don't be
speaking?
rude. Are you afraid?
Jacob.
Are you afraid? I'm gonna read something. from your
Jacob
book.
was
Are
reading.
you afraid of your book?
Jacob
Are you
was
afraid of
reading.
your book? I just said to you that I don't
Jacob
have,
was reading.
I just said to you that it may be having it may have
It
different
says it, look,
meanings.
it says it, look,
Scholars
it
maybe,
says
you know,
it
different
in
meanings.
1238, look. It says, I follow the faith of my fathers Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. It is not right for us to associate anything with Allah in worship. This is part of Allah's grace upon us. And, O my fellow prisoners, which is for better many different lords of Allah.
He's a non-Christian hater, but he's not a Christian himself.
So, whatever idols you worship instead of him
trying to show
are
you what
mere
Jesus
means.
came with, like,
Are you
what
listening?
he believes.
Okay?
Alright.
The one that is speaking, is talking in the time of the pharaohs. He's talking in the time of Egypt. Okay? Crucifixion wasn't invented at that time. We know who invented it. The Assyrians. And then the Babylonians invented it, the Assyrians improved it, the Persians popularized it, and the Romans perfected it. That's the quick history of
Mate,
crucifixion.
where was Jesus from? Where was Jesus from?
That's not what's that got to do with this. What, go on. What's this got to do with
I'll
this?
show you
Your
what's
Quran, your
I'll show you
Quran.
what's
Go
got to do
on.
with it.
Yeah.
Because Jesus, where was he from?
It's from Palestine.
From Palestine.
Yeah.
What was he?
He was a Jew.
Jewish, yeah?
Yes. What's that
So-
got to do with crucifixion? In your Quran.
I'll show you.
Oh,
One
in your
second.
Quran. In your Quran. This passage.
What's that got to do with Christian? Allah knows best.
Alan,
Allah
in
knows
other
best.
words, you don't know. You've been taken off your script, and like every other Dawah guy gang here, you're completely clueless.
No, there's something.
You're completely clueless.
Obviously, I'm not Dr. Zakir Naik, you know. I don't know everything in the Quran.
When was
Come
crucifixion
on, man.
invented?
It was invented in the time of Jesus, peace be upon him.
No!
Jesus alayhi
You're
salam.
ignorant,
Let
bro.
me tell you, innit? Listen.
Right,
Are
let me
rude?
tell you.
Why are so
Let me
rude?
tell you.
Nah,
Go
bro,
on.
you're not listening.
Go on, tell us, tell us.
Listen.
Tell us.
Bro, in the time of Jesus, Isa bin Maryam alayhi salam, yeah?
Yeah.
Isa bin Maryam, yeah? In his time, the people, yeah, they crucified someone. But that wasn't Jesus. Jesus, we believe, was ascended to the heavens. God has got him there alive right now, and he's going to return. So I believe crucifixion came from that time,
Okay.
when they crucified the fake Jesus.
Right, now let me show you why you're wrong. This is quoting from the National US Library of Medicine, from a paper. The paper is The History and Pathology of Crucifixion. Listen to what it says. In antiquity, crucifixion was considered one of the most brutal and shameful modes of death. Probably originating with the Assyrians and Babylonians, it was used systematically by the Persians in the 6th century. Alexander the Great brought it from there to the Eastern Mediterranean, countries in the 4th century before Christ. And the Phoenicians introduced it into Rome in the 3rd century. It was virtually never used in pre-Hellenic Greece. The Romans perfected crucifixion for 500 years until it was abolished by Constantine I in the 4th century. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, crucifixion came after the Quran said that it did. The Quran says that crucifixion came in the time of the Egyptians, the pharaohs. That is a historical error. We know where crucifixion came from,
No, that's a
and
lie.
it wasn't
That's a
Egypt.
historical error. The Quran is never ever a historical error. That's what you're reading is a historical error.
Based on what
That-
evidence?
Based on the evidence that they're human and they're not God.
Based on
The
what?
Quran is the word
That's
of Allah.
just your assertion.
The Lord of Jesus.
You're begging the
The
question.
Lord of Jesus is
That is
Allah.
your assertion.
Allahu Akbar is the Lord
That
of Jesus.
is your
On the
assertion.
day of judgment, you're gonna come.
Who
to
is Joseph?
Prophet Yusuf.
And what happened to Joseph?
What happened?
You see, he doesn't even know.
Well, I know what happened to him. What you
So
tell
tell
me
me.
what you believe
Tell
about
me.
him. No,
Tell us.
You tell me what you believe.
Tell
about
us.
Him. No,
Because he
no, you brought
doesn't
him up.
know.
You rude.
He doesn't know his own book.
I believe he was chucked in the, I believe the whole story.
so what happened to
when,
Joseph?
when the rich, powerful woman was trying to seduce
Where?
him in the castle,
Of?
I know everything.
Of?
Don't worry.
Which country?
Don't worry.
Which country?
You explain to me your version.
Okay, let me explain it to him because he's a bit sketchy on the
No,
details.
you're
So
watery.
Joseph,
You're watery religion, though.
Joseph was thrown in prison,
Dilute your book.
and he was in prison in Egypt. Joseph is 1400 years BC. The Assyrians and the Babylonians are 800 years BC. Note the difference, some 600 years difference.
Okay, fair enough.
It was the
Can I speak?
Babylonians
Can I speak?
and the Assyrians that invented crucifixion.
Can I speak?
But the Quran says the following, putting words into the mouth of Joseph.
Can I speak?
When he was in prison with two of the companions of prison, this is what Joseph said. As to one of you, he will pour out the wine for his Lord to drink, and as for the other, he will be crucified. Crucifixion didn't even exist.
How do you know that?
In 1400
How do you know
years
that?
BC.
How do you know that?
Great question. I will tell you.
Tell me.
Because of
How do
his.
you know? Was he
I'm
there?
going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because you don't know. Like you didn't know that the Quran even had the word crucifixion in it. Like you didn't know the story of Joseph.
There's probably more to
Like
that,
you
I don't know.
didn't know that the translators agreed with me that the Quran used crucifixion. You didn't know because you're full of pride and your own arrogance and your own conceit.
I know it's the truth.
And you have no
I know
humility.
the Quran is the word of God.
So how do we know?